Sorry, I forgot to turn the volume off my phone. It is Tuesday, October 1st. And oh, that was Jason's show going up. Larry recorded the show with Jason at 11. 11 Central. 11 Central. We thought he was going to be live at that time, but it was pre-recorded. So I guess you got a choice of listening to Larry with Jason or being here with us. So I'm going to stay here with Larry and listen to his recording with Jason afterwards. And that is now the indication that our show is up. So I'm waiting. We have 7 people right now. So today is October 1st. And I need to turn the ringer off my phone. So Terry, I will answer your question. I just asked Larry about your ideas on the book, and he said he's planning on talking about what's coming. So. And hopefully that'll include some ideas on how to prepare. So Larry's been working way too hard for any human being, let alone someone who is fighting illness the way he does. So he's pretty exhausted. Be patient with him if he conks out for a second. So, do you have any idea what you're going to talk about, Larry? Are you ready to go?
I have no idea, but I'm ready to go, I think.
Okay, go for it.
If you're ready, I'm ready.
Yep. Hi, Gypsy Rose. Hi, Pam.
I want to give more people a chance to get here, so dance with them a minute.
Okay, well, we had 18. So thanks for being here. And when we're done, I'm sorry about the confusion. If you saw the title that said that he was going to be on with with Jason at this time, and then it was changed to 11 Central, and turns out all they did was do a recording that is now playing. So we can go and listen to Jason after this when Jason has the show put back up. So we're still at 19 right now. So.
All right, let's get a few more because I don't want to miss people. It looks like, folks, what I told y'all yesterday is starting to happen. You should be seeing it. Pompeo is being subpoenaed to go before Schiff's committee. And Pompeo is stating that neither he nor his top staff positions of staff are not going. And of course, this creates a legal conundrum. They're going to try to use this as the reason for impeaching, they think. And I can tell you the good news. The good news is, by knowing ahead of time this was their plan, strategies have been developed to counteract it. There are other news stories out, in case you don't know or haven't heard, that Barr is in Europe looking into the Biden and his son ordeal. Now, folks, let me tell you, I don't know that Barr, but I assume from what I've seen on television, he's obviously, I don't think, in Europe. But I do know for a fact that he is investigating Biden and his son for their dealings in getting the prosecutor in Ukraine fired. And he should, Don't let anybody tell you that he's doing something he shouldn't be doing. He should. He is, he is the Attorney General. It's his job to investigate something that is as obviously a possible crime as what we've seen with the Biden and his son deal. One of the things I talked about on Jason was that this is kind of what this is all about. This is why the big deal. What Biden has been caught doing should explain to a lot of you the question you've all asked, which is how have all these people gone to Congress with modest income levels, whatever, and then virtually in no time after being in office, they all turn out to be millionaires. Well, now you see with Biden and his son, this is how the system works. The different people in power, they can wait, and then they get their turn, you see, at putting together their little deal, their own little deal to make their fortunes. And it happens all the time. Hence comes one of the problems President Trump has. He's trying to bust all of this up, you see. And these people know it. And they don't want to lose the source of endless money. Mm-hmm. They don't. So they're going to fight him until the end. This is a blood match now.
I've heard people saying that the whole impeachment thing is just to get any focus off their own backs for their own wrongdoing. So they just, transfer of all their criminality to Trump.
It is in a way. Mm-hmm. But it's not getting them off their backs. He's wanting to shut it down. He's wanting to shut down this deep state profit center. He's wanting to shut it down. And they know it. And they're going to fight to the bitter end. To the bitter end to keep it. They know that if they lose, it's over for them. Do y'all get it? They know it's over for them if they lose. So they're bringing out every trick, every nasty play they can bring out, every dirty, nasty thing they can do to President Trump and or his people to make sure that he's out of there. And this is the reason why we have to be so dedicated to the proposition and cause that we got to win. We have to win.
Here's a good question, Larry. Have Republicans quit because they can't keep making money like before?
That's a lot of it. You're wondering why all these old head Republicans are getting out. They're afraid to jigs up. No fun being a congressman if you're not going to get wealthy. I've told y'all over and over and over, these people care about one thing, and that's themselves. And if you're an old head and you've made your money, you might want to think about going ahead and getting out just in case if Trump wins, you want to be able to keep your money. And if you're out of there when this thing ends, likely as not, you'll get to keep what you have stolen from the American people or by using the American people. But now you know better what I've been trying to tell you all these years. These people that have been there any length of time, they're dirty. They're dirty. And they got to go. I don't think President Trump understood. No, I know he didn't understand how deep the deep state is. I don't think he had any idea, y'all, how hard it would be to bust it up. I really don't.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good thing, or he might not have been there to help us.
There's a good chance, I believe you're right, that if he'd have known what was going to happen, he might not have. And I don't believe there's one of us that could have blamed him. But he did. He's in, he's standing strong, and he's fighting for us. And the least we can do, all of us, is fight for him. Help him save us. I'm pretty exhausted, so has anybody got any questions? Are there any questions, Mary Ellen?
Yes. Linda was the one that had been talking over the weekend with somebody who supports the idea of socialism. And she said the woman didn't have a problem with socialism and gave Canada as a positive example. And Linda has read that Canada is a social democracy. So can you explain the difference between what Canada has and what socialism is?
Well, Canada is not really a socialist democracy. There's really not such a thing as a democratic socialism or socialist democracy. Canada is a liberal democracy, totally set up with liberal concepts through and through. Socialism is when you are literally run by a committee. Socialism and communism are virtually the same. Canada is neither yet. But Canada is on the verge of becoming a full-blown socialist country. It's on the verge. And if America goes, it will go. But Canada still has its form of government. And because of that, it's not a socialist. It's not socialism.
Does
that
help, Linda? To type in yes or no, or a further question.
What else you got?
Yeah, Israel says, why doesn't Trump arrest Soros? Now we know Trump doesn't arrest anybody. He thinks special forces could do it in 20 minutes. If Trump claims he got rid of ISIS, why can't he get rid of Soros?
It's a different thing. ISIS is a known, announced terrorist organization. Now, you and I, most of y'all, along with me, I would consider George Soros certainly a terrorist in a sense, but he's not on the terrorist watch list like ISIS. So that's why he can't. He would have to go after Soros for some reason that he can't do.
Okay. Cindy suggested taking funds out of the senior executive service.
Huh?
Cindy said if he wants to stir them up, he could stop their funds taken from the senior executive service.
Well, he could, maybe. You know, I don't know the validity of how that senior executive service is set up. I don't know. I don't know how it's set up, under what premise. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Now you've answered this question many, many times. Do you believe the deep state or Clintons take people outright before they're about to testify? You've always said that the Clintons have not directly been involved in the death of anybody, but they have certainly benefited with death. And as to who orders the killing, or whether it's a suicide or a hit, you have no knowledge of who's behind that.
No, don't want to know. Would not be safe for me to know.
So Josh suggests he's going to mail the demons in the house eviction notices. They've done nothing for the people, so if they want to stay, they have to pay rent.
Well, let me tell you what you can do, Jack.
Josh.
Any of you that have a Democrat as your congressman or your senator, I would suggest you look into filing a writ of mandamus. You will need an attorney. But a writ of mandamus action is one where you can literally go after them for not doing their job. You know, Congress is not doing what we're paying them for. They're not doing any legislative work for the business of the people.
Except to block Trump and what is executive orders.
And you can sue them for that. You can. But you have to do it. And you can only go after your representative. So, for example, I can't bring a mandamus action against, say, Nancy Pelosi because I'm not in her district. But if you're in her district, you can. Take them to court.
Now,
Take them to court.
Can the charges include lying, falsifying documents, and so on?
No, not this.
Is there a way to bring criminal charges against anybody?
No. No, that you have to go through your federal prosecutor, which means you won't get anywhere.
Because it's rigged.
This is a civil action specifically for one thing: failure to do the job that they took an oath to do. And they're not doing it. As long as they have given us this opportunity, if somebody will take advantage of it, as long as they are not doing the business of the people, they have not voted on legislation, their time is totally committed to trying to get Trump, and that's it. This is the one time in history that we have a case where we could file a mandamus action against Congress.
Wouldn't it be awesome if we could get a whole bunch of people doing it against a whole bunch of people in Congress?
Yeah. It would be wonderful.
Is it worth going after? My congressman's brand new. He just got in 2018. Is it worth going after him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If he's a Democrat,
yeah, in Maryland, of course,
he's worth going after because he's not doing his job. As long as, time and, he doesn't have to have been there 10 terms. I mean, if he's been there one term, part of one term, and since his going in 2018, just since he went in, he's not doing his job. That's grounds for mandamus.
Okay.
But you have to have an attorney or a lawyer to handle the case for you.
How do you have the money for that?
Well, that's what they count on. We don't have the money to do that. But any of you, one of you may know an attorney that values free publicity and would do it for the free publicity. Maybe.
I'm going to have to look into it. Okay. Question. What is the possibility that the crooks like Hillary and Biden get charged by other nations that they did wrong? For example,
not much.
Ukraine.
Not much.
Why wouldn't they? Well, because they benefited so much, right?
Mm-hmm. You're not going to see other nations, certainly other global leaders around the world. They're not going to get involved in our crap. There's no way they will.
And
just won't.
Term limits is not something an executive order can do, is it?
What?
Can an executive order create term limits?
No.
I don't think so.
No way. It has to go through Congress.
Can Trump build, obviously it won't be Trump, but can he build a Galt chemical reactor Manhattan Project style?
I don't understand the question.
Can
he build
a LFTR, and then in parentheses they've got GALT, Galt chemical reactor Manhattan Project style?
I don't know why he would. We have research going on every day with scientists and stuff working on it, so I don't know why there would need to be a Manhattan Project type structure.
Larry?
Maybe I didn't understand that question, so y'all, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What?
Give some more details on that, and we'll try asking again. Teresa says on Thursday the House is planning to vote on something to make free conference calls illegal. Is that worth a call to them?
Making free conference calls illegal?
Yeah.
How do they do that? How does anybody propose to do that?
How does anybody propose to do anything? They just...
Well, I know, but I don't. Teresa, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's true. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's true, because they would have to, before they can make a conference call illegal, they would have to redo the First Amendment.
Well, I mean, these are private businesses, but...
Well, I know, but I mean, if the private business does not wish to charge customers for free conference calls, that's their business. That's up to them. And Congress would be impeding on freedom of speech by trying to dare pass anything restricting a conference call, either to the company that owns the system, or the people that are making the calls or own the calls.
All right.
I think somewhere Teresa, the wires are crossed on what they're supposedly going to vote on Thursday relative to that.
But said the legislation number is 18155.
Well, still, something's not right about it.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, but something's not right. Now, is the vote going down in the House or the Senate?
House, she said.
Huh?
She said House.
Okay.
Do you think the Democrats are trying to remove do you think that the Democrats trying to remove the president could backfire on them in 2020?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm not putting all of my hopes into it, but secretly, so y'all know, just this is my secret that I'm not telling anybody, but secretly I'm hoping that they are making giant strides in firing up Trump's soft base. This could very well blow up in their face. Not that it's going to make anybody on the Democrat side switch and vote for Trump come 2020, but it is my serious wish that it has an effect on the soft base of Trump to compel them to get out and vote.
You know,
and by the way, Pelosi knows it too.
Oh, I'm sure she does. That's why she's trying to say we're following the Constitution.
Right, right.
That's another reason that any activism right now on pro-life issues, helping people in an education way, where you are taking some of the videos that are available and showing people what abortion really is and what it really does, and talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we have seen young kids going to peers and saying, you know, do you believe in abortion? Yes. Well, watch this video and it's just a couple minutes long, maybe a minute long. And they're so horrified. They said, no, you know, they changed their mind. Those kinds of things, they're going to be pushing. We're the abortion party. And, you know, that'll help. That's one of the things that we can actually do. It's not a freebie in a sense, but it is a way to sweeten something for our side that we really do care about everybody.
Well, remember, abortion is one of those politically correct words to cover the truth. The truth is abortion is murder.
Right. So don't use the term abortion anymore. I stand corrected. Absolutely.
Well, no, I mean, I understand, but I'm just telling y'all that abortion is the politically correct word they have come up with to disguise what it actually is. Yeah. And anybody that tells you different's lying.
Yeah,
when you kill a baby, whether it's in the womb or outside of the womb, that's murder.
Yeah.
That's a young life that you just killed.
Yeah.
What you got?
I saw pictures this morning of a woman who gave birth to twins at 21 weeks and they didn't survive. But the pictures of her and her husband holding the babies is just incredibly precious. Mm-hmm. That's a little one. That's only 4 months. Okay, Kenneth says Trump needs to arrest all the deep state and Congress. Now, Kenneth, Trump cannot arrest anybody. That is up to the Attorney General. And if you arrest them, you have to be able to go into court to prosecute them. And we don't have a single court with purview that would take the case.
No, they'll take the case, but they'll rig it.
Oh, rig it and
never get a ruling.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember, I only have the numbers from the grand jury pool. And these are the people that have gotten their notices, and every time a grand jury is called, they're to report, and then they pick from this pool the jurors that will hear in the grand jury. And what we know is 92% of the grand jury pool in Washington, 92% is biased against Trump and anything Trump. So there's no way, even a grand jury. In a grand jury, historically, you know, a prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich with a grand jury. The defendant can't even bring his attorney in to defend him in a grand jury. That's just totally at the mercy of the prosecutor. But in this case, our prosecutors, bar, couldn't even get, you know, a recommendation to indict from a grand jury because 92% of it is anti-Trump.
Now, if he were to do a grand jury for McCabe and they do not recommend indictment, he can indict anyway, though, can't he?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
He can. But if the grand jury pool is 92% biased against Trump or anybody Trump, then I would say that the jury pool that would be involved in the case is going to be 92% plus anti-Trump. Not to mention the fact that the judge and the whole court is going to be anti-Trump.
And seal records and evidence and gag order it so you can't touch it. Cindy, are you wondering if Judicial Watch could set up writ of mandamus in different districts as a class action lawsuit? Is that what you're thinking of, Cindy? Her question was a little unclear. So,
well, I don't know if a mandamus could be handled through a class action format. I really don't. It would have to be, you would have to go against a specific congressman so that you can get that congressman's voting record, etc. I don't think you could do it against several at the same time. I think you couldn't. I don't think you could do that. But I don't know. It'd be worth asking somebody. Ask Judicial Watch. If I talk to Fenton anytime soon, I'll ask him.
okay.
But I know the answer, I think. And a mandamus action is a serious action. It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort. And you may not have that kind of time with all that's going on.
Yeah. Brenny, I do not understand your question, so I have to skip it. Please type it again so that I understand. I'm so sorry. If Trump is impeached through the Romney's Republican rats in the Senate, will this prevent him from standing in the 2020 election?
It'll be over.
Yeah, it'll be over. So he's done if that happens.
Number one, I don't think, I don't know, but I say I don't know. I've got a good idea. I don't think they can start the impeachment process in the House, get that done with a recommendation to prosecute or impeach the president for the Senate trial. And I don't think they could go through the Senate trial and everything get done before Election Day. I just don't. But if it's true Romney has that many Republicans that will turn on Trump, it is a possibility. Remote as it might seem, it is a possibility. And as I told y'all yesterday, this may be the impetus that is forcing Schiff to go for the subpoena trap to try to force Trump to break a law that is sufficient to be impeached over, because they believe they've got him in the Senate.
Ugh. Um, Kenneth's asking, where is this fake whistleblower? Is it all a scam?
I don't doubt that there is, quote unquote, a whistleblower person. I don't doubt that. But here again, he is not a whistleblower in the true sense, in that he's not a first-hand witness of it. When I was doing Jason this morning, Jason pointed out that he had actually seen the rules of a whistleblower, and it expressly forbid anyone with hearsay from being allowed to be a whistleblower. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, that rule somehow got changed to where now a whistleblower that is hearsay can be a whistleblower and enjoy all of the protections of the whistleblower laws. I would add to that, Schiff and the Democrats are claiming that they want to keep the whistleblower secret. They don't want anybody to know who the whistleblower is because they fear that Trump will try to destroy the whistleblower and or they will try to get him killed. Remember what I taught y'all about transference. They accuse you of what they're doing, right? So
Yep.
when they're saying to Trump, we're afraid if you find out who the whistleblower is, you'll either destroy them, their name, etc., their credibility, or even have them killed. What they're saying, well, sure you would, because that's what we would do. And they would.
Yep. So John asked about the executive order, December 21st, 2017, the state of emergency against trafficking and corruption in which assets are frozen or confiscated. Is anything
Now,
with that?
say that. Tell me that again.
Remember the executive order, December 21st, 2017, where it said that assets could be frozen or I thought confiscated even, it was a state of emergency against human trafficking and corruption. So if anybody was found to be involved in that, their assets would be frozen. I mean, it sounded
that executive order, if you'll recall, was stricken down by the Ninth Circuit. It's not stricken down, it's been stayed until it can get to the appellate court. I mean, to the Supreme Court.
So when will that happen?
2 or 3 years.
Oh, man. I've been wondering what had happened to that thing. Okay. Is it possible to call for an early election?
No. No, it would take extreme justification. Hold on. Hello. Yeah,
We're hearing you.
I'm on the show. Let me call you when I get off. Yeah, don't. All right, I'll call you. All right. Are you there?
Yeah, you're still with us. Okay.
I'm going to have to call you back because I got knocked off.
No, you're here, Larry. You're fine.
I know, but I can't hear through the headset, so I'll have to call you right back.
Okay, call us back. Jason, Larry has never talked about the CIA being involved in 9/11 or any of the list of things.
All right, I'm back. God, my people call me in the show. It never ceases to amaze me. All right. So where we at now?
Okay. Who do you think would make a good Speaker of the House if the Republicans take the House back?
Oh, Jordan, Nunes, Meadows, Meadows. Any one of those three would be good.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Maybe Kennedy, or is he too new?
No.
Do you think the CIA shadow government had anything to do with 9/11, the Vegas massacre, Oklahoma City?
I don't know. I really don't, y'all. And where we are today, I think it important that we deal with the issues at hand, and we'll come back to those if we save the country. Right now, if we don't save the country, it won't matter anyway. But I will tell you this, the shadow CIA, which used to be called when I was there, the Cellar Boys are in the process of overthrowing our form of government right now. And you got plenty of proof of that while it's going on, this coup.
So Brenny asks, what would happen to all the Trumps if Trump lost this fight? Are you talking about the family, Brenny? Or are you talking about Trump supporters? I don't understand the question.
Well, if he's referring to the Trump family, if Trump loses this battle, I suspect they will go all the way and destroy the Trump family because they don't want to run the risk of one of Trump's sons coming back in the next election and doing this all over again. So they will go all the way and destroy the family, even if Trump gets impeached or loses. They'll destroy him. They've got to because they don't want him to come back.
That answers John's question too, I think. Kenneth says, remember, in the government, it takes 2 years to flush the commode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you think Biden will drop out with what has happened with his son? Many others
No.
drop out over much less.
No, because if he drops out, it would be an admission of guilt and he would lose his ability to defend himself. So he's going to stay in. He's got to stay in because that's his only hope to be able to garner the support of the Democrats to protect he and his son. If he's out, they won't protect him and he knows it.
Protect him in a prosecution?
Yes, protect him, keep him from being prosecuted.
Is there a way for Trump to dissolve or disband the shadow government?
No. No.
Nadler signed off for Schiff to go to Ukraine in mid-September. I saw something with Adam Schiff's signature for one of his staff to go to Ukraine.
I would not doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. They're going to go and they're going to dig everything they can, looking to find anything that they can either claim for real or make up to get Trump. So yes, they're going to go and they're going to look for anything they can find. And you've got to understand the Cellar Boys, if they go over there, they may not actually find any documentation to hurt Trump. But if they go there, they can make documents up and bring them back that looks like he did something.
So if the seller boys are who he sends, they can forge documents to look real.
Yes, yes. And it's not just forging documents. This is what I'm telling you about this group. They have the ability to not only forge the documents, but to develop a trail of evidence to make it look real. What else you got?
I'm sorry, I'm having a major reaction to that statement. That's really bad news.
Yeah, it is. This is all bad news. The good news is, in case anybody wants to know,
Yeah.
the good news is I do not know who's in the group used to be known as the Cellar Boys today, but I know all too well their tactics and procedures. And that helps a great deal in trying to fight them. My problem is, as you know, Mary Ellen, I'm taking a bit of a risk at crossing the line of secrecy by even talking about them. I guess there is a way, if I'm not careful in how I present this, that they could come after me for violating secrecy laws.
No, that's
But
what.
just so y'all know, it's time. It's time for somebody to blow the whistle on that group. It's time for somebody to tell the truth about what's going on in the agency. And since, as usual, nobody else is, then I will.
Yeah, and that's why it's so upsetting to go through conversations like I had today with people who are just so negative about what's going on and what we're doing, and have no clue and are set in their ways in the lies they believe. And it's I had a really good positive conversation last night, said more than I thought I'd be able to say about our mission, and was shocked that at the receptivity I got. And then today it was the opposite reaction. Anyhow, you got to keep throwing the truth out there, and it'll stick with some people. So, what's your opinion of Ross Perot and his '92 campaign?
Well, I think he had the one chance he had the only chance we've had or will have in the foreseeable future for a third party candidate to win, even though he probably could have never won. He was put in, so that y'all know, by the Clintons. Larry Patterson, who is with Bill Clinton's security as governor, told me and told on the air in programs that we did together that every day Bill Clinton during the campaign, when Perot was in, talked to Bill Clinton over the phone. Perot was put in to be a ringer to take votes away from Bush, and he did.
Wow.
What else you got?
And I'm arguing with somebody in Ohio who wants to run as an independent candidate next year, and I said all you're going to do is give the Democrat the win.
That's right.
It's not too late to sign up to run on the Republican ticket.
See, that's what Romney is trying to do. Romney, and then the guy that was a Republican and then he quit and now he's a Democrat. What they're trying to do is run in the Republican primary and, run as an independent. If they don't win the primary, they plan to run as an independent, simply to take 5 or 6 points from Trump in the general, which is enough to defeat him.
Yeah.
Which is another thing we will have to deal with once the campaign starts, because we will have to convince the soft base and the hard base that anything they do to vote for someone as an independent, you may think you're just making a statement of protest. No, you're losing the election for all of us.
Well, it's worse than losing the election. You're giving our country to socialism if you do that.
That's right.
I mean, we really have one choice this time. Do you think the Clintons and Obama have a hand in trying to get the president out of office?
Absolutely. They've had it since day one. Remember, it was Obama that started all of this. It was Obama that okayed the counterintelligence investigation of Clapper and Brennan. Had it not been for his signature, his personal signature, they could not or would not do the counterintelligence investigation, which turned up, of course, the Steele dossier and all the other problems. They are in it. They are a part of it.
Do you think our CIA is involved in child trafficking?
Don't know.
Do you think they will kill the president?
CIA? I don't know.
It just says
I fear that if he makes it through all of this, yes, I figure there will be an attempt on his life.
Somebody's put out there that there's been 86 attempts so far.
I don't know about that. And most of that kind of stuff, folks, if you're reading that kind of stuff, it's usually not true. Because if there has been an attempt on his life that has not been made public, then likely as not, it didn't happen.
Is there a way to stop the Cellar Boys?
Yes. We do exactly what our mission is. We vote President Trump in 2020. We get him reelected, and we will stop the Cellar Boys and all of this corruption. He'll be able to.
Good.
In his second term.
Okay, here's another crazy from Indy is the name. Is it true Pence has been removed from being vice president?
God.
Oh, say no more, Larry. That's enough. Will General Flynn be exonerated?
I don't know. I believe when all is said and done, he will receive a full and complete pardon, but he will never get his life back. See, that's the problem with what they've done to him, what they've done to me and others. Where can we go to get our names back? What can we ever do to get our names back? And the answer is nothing.
Well, I know with you, and it'll be true of Flynn as well. You know, there will be people like us who support you and will support him because we know the truth. But, you know, you get it back with other people, you know, that's maybe not, but you do have people supporting you in ways you didn't have for quite a while.
Well, yes, and let me say, I appreciate all of you more than you'll ever know. And when it's all said and done, if he wins, there'll be 50% of the country that would give Flynn, and even in my case, me, some modicum of relief. But I'll still go through life as Flynn would the rest of my life, with half of the country thinking the bad stuff that's been said about me that's not true.
You know, Larry, okay, I'm not going to minimize, never mind.
No, just no.
I'm I'm not. Do you think Don Jr. would have a chance at the presidency?
Yes, I do. I think he has had I think he's had an excellent teacher in his father. Plus, he will have something that his father did not have. He would have the experience of being the son of a president that has gone through all of this. President Trump's going through all of it the first time. Nobody's ever done it, so he's having to feel his way through. But Don Jr. has seen it all, so he would be well equipped, I believe. Well equipped.
Do you know anything about what Barr's been doing in Italy?
I know what Barr's doing. I don't know that he's been to Italy. Italy, Australia, Great Britain, Russia, they were all complicit in trying to rig the election against Trump to help Hillary. And Barr is investigating all of that. I do not know if he's been to Italy. I don't know that his investigating it means he's got to go to Italy, but he is certainly dispatching people to Italy, Australia, Russia, and Great Britain to investigate their part, their role in trying to rig the election against Trump.
If they won the battle on impeachment against Trump, as soon as he was gone, they'll turn the whistleblower into a hero and he'll be on the Wheaties box. Do you agree?
I don't know. It will not matter. If they get rid of Trump, all is lost. Then we have but one place, which we have now, really the only place we have to seek help, and that's with our Father.
That's with what?
With God. With our Father, with God. The only place we can go to.
Yeah, if we lose.
This is just about rapidly reaching a God thing where only God would be able to intercede if we're not careful. And that's why it's so important to me that at least we all show our dedication to trying to do what's right, so that we show God there are, as he did in Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Show me 10 people, show me 10 good men, show me 5 good men. Maybe if we show God good men and women enough, he'll hear our plea.
I'm reading through the book of Judges right now, and I'll tell you, it's just about every 8 verses, it talks about how, the people forgot God and they went their own way, and the parents did a really poor job of passing their faith on to their kids. And they forsook God, followed after other gods, and of course the worship of Baal included the sacrifice of children, which is what our murdering of the in the womb is doing. Because a lot of the abortion clinics, I don't know if you guys realize this, but a lot of the abortion clinics have a Satanist come in and do rituals in the clinic before they start their day. So, and yet, they suffer. So God sends punishment to them. Foreign countries come in and terrorize them and take over and run them ragged financially. They cry out for mercy, and God hears and sends somebody to help. And just over and over again, I'm watching this through this book, thinking about what our country's been going through, and seeing Trump as one of the judges that God would send to the Israelites to help them turn things around. I mean, it's amazing to read through the Bible and see it, current events.
Not to change the subject, but I'm looking on Fox right now, And here's Neil Cavuto, somebody I used to have faith in and considered a friend. And he has obviously turned on Trump, and now he's broadcasting that the stock market plunges as manufacturing weakens. Let me tell you guys, the market's going to go up, the market's going to go down. And just because it has come down 300 and something points does not mean tomorrow it doesn't go up 500. That is the ebb and flow of the stock market. So, it's frustrating to me to see Cavuto piling on like everybody else. It really does.
So this is a question you may not want to or be able to answer, but Jason is curious. Have you considered creating a dead man's switch with additional experiences and insight that could only be revealed after passing?
Read that again.
Has Larry considered creating a dead man's switch with additional experiences and insight that he could only reveal after passing?
I would hope that if there's anything I can reveal that would be of benefit to this country, that I'll do it before I'm gone. I don't think there's any reason for me to hold anything for when I'm gone. There's nothing, when I'm dead, there better be nothing that I wanted to have said that could have helped the country, because then I would have failed. And I'm not ready to admit failure. Now, are there things I have not told y'all yet? Are there insights that I still have that I could tell? Yes, but I'll tell them when it's time. Not until. It makes no sense to me to tell you something that it's not time yet for you to hear.
And you have the right to do that, for crying out loud. Okay, Jason is asking, which would the shadow government allow to happen first, the people's revolution or let the U.S. be nuked?
People's revolution or what?
Or let the U.S. be nuked. Let bomb.
I don't know.
Okay. Is Michelle Obama really a man? I mean, some of these questions.
Gosh.
You don't have to answer it.
Yeah, good. Oh, my chest is hurting and I'm worn out. Give me the last one or two and then I've got to go.
Do you know anything about the people running for GOP governor in Louisiana?
Do not. I'm sorry, I do not.
John heard that 50,000 new donors to Trump, who had never donated to any political campaign before, donated small amounts in 72 hours. That's the soft face we're talking about.
Yeah, and I assure you, the whole flap over the whistleblower has apparently stimulated fundraising for President Trump, and that's good. That shows us that his base gets it.
Mary, you have to be a neighbor of mine. Please contact me. And this Mary is talking about voting for President Trump. And I think we have got to be neighbors. So please contact me. My cell phone number is listed underneath the video.
Now, are you talking about neighbor of yours or neighbor of mine?
I think she's a neighbor of mine.
Okay.
I know a Mary, but I don't know if it's the same Mary. So please contact me.
What is the area code of the phone number?
Well, she said she's in Sanctuary, Montgomery County, Maryland, so that's where I am. Please,
That's you then. That's you.
yeah, so contact me.
All right. Any last one before I go?
Between the Clintons and the CIA, who would throw whom overboard?
Well, the agency would throw the Clintons overboard. That's obvious. That's for sure. I don't think the Clintons have the power to throw the agency overboard. Not any longer.
All right, we're gonna say.
All right, guys.
Thank
Let me turn it. I'm going to turn it over to Mary Ellen. I've got to go. My chest is.
You've had enough. Now I can hear it. And you went an hour.
Guys, thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope. Okay. Bye now.
Folks, thank you, Gloria, for suggesting that people do something to help. Pam, it could be either one or both. Whether the recess was to regroup or just raise money, they are going to take advantage. And of course, the Democrats who got elected in 2018 in an area that voted for Trump in 2016 have to go and talk to their people to justify why they're going to support impeachment for the president that their district elected. So that's part of what they're doing. But remember, anytime things are quiet, you've got to be praying against they're conspiring together. And please remember Psalm 2, the kings of the earth conspire together and God laughs. Yes, yes, Mary, good. We're just about neighbors, so please call me. I'm not that far away from you. So if you get a pen, that after I give Larry's information, I'll give you my phone number. Larry's PayPal is Nichols Live, no first name, just his last name. NicholsLive@AOL.com. That's his PayPal account. There's a link to it on the website, NicholsLive.com. Under the donate page at NicholsLive.com, it's a link to Larry's PayPal. It is his mailing address for sending cash only. And there's also a cell phone number to reach me if you need an alternative way to send money to Larry. There is a merchandise page where you can get the Never Socialism t-shirt, which is, sorry, over there. I was gonna put it behind me so I could lift it up and I forgot. Very bold, very dynamic looking, easy to be seen from quite a distance, because the letters on the back are pretty big. You can get it that includes Larry's Army, or you can say you don't want to say Larry's Army on there. Oh, absolutely, Teresa. Definitely an answer to prayer to have somebody nearby. So thank you guys for being here. We will talk again tomorrow. I'm sorry about the confusion over the interview with Jason at the late last night. Larry heard from Jason that he wanted to do the interview at 11 this morning, and Larry did not know that it wouldn't be live. And it wasn't until, hour and a half later, he called and let me know that he was done doing it and wanted to know what I thought. And I said I couldn't find it. And he said, oh, maybe he just recorded it to play at his normal time at 2 Central, which is apparently what he did, because I got the notice as we were going live that supposedly Jason was going live with Larry. So obviously he had pre-recorded, so couldn't be in two places at once. Anyhow, thank you for being here. God bless you, and we will talk tomorrow and at the same time. And anything you can do for Larry, you can hear it in his voice. It would be greatly appreciated. We had hoped that there was going to be some help coming for him, and it has not happened yet. And so whatever you can do now that we're at the beginning of the month. Please do as much as you can, as soon as you can. Thanks a lot. God bless you. And we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.